There we go, we're recording.
Perfect.
So today joined by kind of an old face, not to call him old, but Nick Wehry. Back in the day during COVID, myself and Nick had a wee chat, and awfully Irish, but been a minute. The lad's been
Yeah.
everywhere. You went over to Thailand recently,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
we trip. How'd that go?
That was awesome, man. It was kind of like in June we got contacted like, hey, would you be interested in going to Thailand for a few days? I'm like, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So, conversations kind of continued from there, and then Miki and I we were able to fly to Thailand. It was like a 6 day trip, I think 7 day trip overall, but like 3.5 of those days are spent. It was about 30 hours of travel in each direction, so that was a little rough. But I mean, 8 contests over the course of 3 days. She got 4 new world records. I got my ass handed to me a few times. But overall, it was a pretty good contest, and just like amazing. Like the culture is very different. The food people there would subside on just like grilled meats and super fresh fruits. So for me, that part was pretty awesome, and everything was really cost effective. The accommodations were great, so I can't complain, man. I was paid to be in Thailand for a week for work, so
Slightly jealous. That sounds pretty fucking
Yeah,
good.
I mean,
This fucking
can't-
grilled meat
can't
and fresh
complain
fruit.
with that.
yeah.
Send
Like
me
I'm
in.
drinking
Send
like
me.
fresh coconut water out of coconuts that cost the equivalent of like, so they'd be like 40 baht, so basically like $1 or like fresh coconut water out of a coconut and stuff like that. Or if you go to like a 7-Eleven or the equivalent of a convenience store, you could get things like protein ready to drinks here in America are probably like $4 or $5 a piece at the gas station. Like there, they're like $1. Like this
So
is
you
the
loaded up.
greatest thing. Yeah, I'm just they're subsiding on those, and then obviously all the contest foods and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool, man. Other than being like hot and humid, but in Tampa right now it's like 99 with like 1,000,000,000% humidity, so it's really not any different.
Just before we go into anything else, so you're a competitive eater, right?
Yeah.
If anyone doesn't know, and you were a bodybuilder back in the day.
I was, yeah. I dabbled in speedos and fake tans, yeah.
Yeah, if you take a look at his fucking shoulders, like, yeah, you'd have a rough idea. But yeah, that's kind of fucking sick. So they just were like, "How are you getting on, lads? Do you want to come down?"
Yeah,
They-
man, it was pretty surreal, man. But like I said, I really can't complain. It was a pretty amazing trip, and luckily we found a babysitter for Max, so it wasn't like traveling 60 hours total with the baby and stuff. So it was cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on a trip like that with a baby, to be honest.
Yeah, we didn't want to be those people that everyone hates. Like,
Yeah.
because domestic flights are one thing to travel 2, 3, 4 hours with him, and you can entertain him and stuff like that. Doing like a 12-hour trip from, there's a flight to Minnesota, then a flight to Seoul, Korea, then the flight to Bangkok, and then back we went through Munich on the way back, and then to, I think, Washington, and then back to here. So that would have been rough.
Well, like a full trip around the world.
Basically,
what's
yeah,
that, like,
we didn't realize at the time when it was booked, and then we're like, oh shit, we're literally flying around the world. That's pretty cool.
Oh Jesus.
I'll do it. So one thing I found out fairly recently, and this is something that confused me when we were chatting the first time. I think there's an actual limit to how much your body can digest, right? How many calories it can take in.
Yeah,
I heard it's about 7,000.
It's different, obviously, person to person, and based on like your GI efficiency and stuff like that, and obviously the size of the human being and stuff. But yeah, there's an amount where you're just going to excrete effectively,
Yeah.
So you can only take in so much, because even people who are like on my 600-pound life and stuff like that, they end up excreting like a lot of calories. They're not really efficient at digesting, and actually, like, the leaner and healthier you are, the more efficient typically you are at processing calories. That's why, like, when you're in like when I was in bodybuilding preps and you start to get into like single digit body fat percentages, your body is utilizing almost every single calorie you ingest and stuff. So it's slightly different person to person, but yeah, like when we take in 50 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes, that's roughly 15,000 calories. You can't really utilize all 15,000 of those calories. You're going to do some of them out. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, that explains a lot. I was so confused. Like, this guy is fucking shredded. This guy is definitely single-digit body fat, but he's eating like I've seen you eat like 7,000, 8,000, 10,000 calories. Like it's nothing, and then bit of a stomach, you're fine after. But now, kind of get why.
Yeah, and then it's like obviously the days leading up and the days after and all that shit, increased activity and decreased calorie intake and all that. But yeah, you can only utilize so much at one time.
Yeah, and with the stuff you were eating over there, was any of it like gross? Like what did they have you eating?
No, I wouldn't go that. Like it was definitely predominantly like Thai-based foods. So we did 8 contests. So one of them was, I'm trying to think of the order in which they went. The first one was, pork tonkatsu over rice, and that's something I would eat if we were out and about. So that was pretty good. The next contest was fish balls, which anyone who's been to maybe like a Korean barbecue or hot pot, that's typically where you'd find those. So if you don't like seafood, or like that's not going to be your thing, obviously, because it's basically just a fish meatball, effectively.
This guy.
I was gonna say,
so-
like, what kind
Wehry,
of?
stop looking at me with them face.
Yeah, like,
Willem,
it's not like
Willem here
vegetables,
hates fish.
Yeah,
Man,
if you hate fish, it's not going to be your thing. Miki basically there was 8 competitors, and she basically took us out to the woodshed on that one. It was like she ate 368 of them in 8 minutes. Now they are roughly the diameter of a quarter, I would say, like a sphere, and probably weigh, if I had to guess, half an ounce to.
Dude,
a
it
piece.
sounds so fucking gross. I'm sorry, it
Yeah.
sounds so gross.
So she ate probably, if I had to guess, like 13 pounds ish of these things in 8 minutes. Now, mind you, I was at a decent pace, but at one point I'm listening to Sam because the MC's obviously announcing there's 2 MCs, and once I heard that, I was like, the way contests go, like if I'm gonna beat her, I have to be ahead of her from Jump Street and just kind of pace her. And if she's beating me in the first few minutes, this isn't like the tortoise and the hare. This is like, dude, this is the tortoise and the tortoise. Like, she's already going to beat you. Like, it's over. So once I found out that I was like 50 behind, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to kind of coast here and go into the. But when I heard she ate 368 at the end, I'm like, you are psychotic, my friend. Like, I love you to pieces.
368. How big did you say they were again?
About the diameter of a quarter, about half an ounce a piece. I think it was 15 grams a piece. Yeah. Yeah, it
Man,
was.
one of these days you guys are gonna burst, and I'm gonna be.
Yeah, and then she's
real
just
sad.
smiling and happy afterwards, and I'm like, man, I'm mentally unstable, but you are. Whew, that's rough.
It's humbling. Sounds like it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so there was that was the second contest. The third contest in the morning was donuts was second. Donuts was second. So that was the fourth contest overall. I ate 76 donuts in 8 minutes. She ate 87.
Were they like
And then
regular ones, regular size?
Yeah, glazed donuts. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then that was the tie, so she had to do a 10 donut eat off. So she ended up eating 97 because she won the eat off. And she ate 10 donuts in like 34 seconds or some shit in the eat off.
How?
Yeah.
Like you'd give Willem here a run for his money.
Yeah. This guy
Yeah.
eats a lot, but
He's our
Man.
competitive eater.
Yeah, and then there was like
just because I take in a lot of food does not mean I'm a fucking man.
I think there was like Yoshinoya beef bowls. So that was one of the contests. Our buddy Zosan won that one. Pocket sandwiches. So almost like, do you guys have Uncrustables over there?
What's an Uncrustable?
So it's kind of like imagine if you made a sandwich, right? But pressed it so that there was no crust, but the outsides were crimped. Almost like if you made a sandwich like a ravioli or something.
I think
I've definitely had one. Yeah.
So they
But,
serve
like-
them in the freezer aisle over here. They're like they serve them frozen, but over there they don't fill them. Like over here, they're made for kids, and they put them with like peanut butter and jelly and shit like that.
Yeah.
In
Oh, yeah.
Thailand, they put like mayo and pork floss, or like tuna and whatever.
Now-
They make them more like.
What the fuck is a pork floss?
Oh, so pork floss is like dude. It's one of the most amazing things ever. Basically, they take pork and they dry it, and it's almost like sweet and salty pork. I don't know, dust. Effectively, they put them in pastries a lot, and like Asian pastries. So almost like if you where like in America they do like bacon bits. They don't do that over there. What they do is they take pork and dry it, and then they put it in sandwiches. Because obviously, if you dry pork, that's been around for hundreds of years. Like it can last forever. But then they'll sweeten it or make it sweet and salty, and basically it just makes you take something and you make it better by putting sweet and salty, fatty fucking pork on it. Like it's gonna be better probably. So it was those sandwiches. God, I'm losing track of everything. Then there was the Lowry Cheese Tower. So that was interesting because that was thought to be, you know, that like right now there's the gimmick of like the have it your way burgers. And it could be like all onions or all tomatoes or all lettuce or whatever.
Oh, this stuff, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we thought it was going to be 25 slices of just a Lowry cheese between two buns. And it was going to be whoever eats the most sandwiches of that. When it came out, it was 80 slices of cheese.
80 slices of
so-
cheese. Many a
Man.
night, I would go to the fridge and I'd do that
Man,
myself.
listen, at that
Lap
stage, it's
pod.
not even slices of cheese. It's just a whole fucking block in between
It
them
was
two
just
loaves
a
of
block.
slices of bread. Like,
Luckily,
that's
they
not-
did stagger
that's not
them
even.
so you could kind of differentiate. So they would do 80 slices and they put like 3 sandwiches in front of each of us. I think I ended up finishing like 240 slices. She did, I think, 326 or something like that.
Remind me here, Miki is ranked number 1 in the female division, right?
One with the females, 3rd overall.
Third overall. Holy fuck.
Yeah. So
And-
only Jeff and Joey are ranked ahead of her as of right now. I think the rankings might be coming out again soon. They might be re-ranking. I'll probably drop, but she'll probably stay at 3rd if I had to imagine. Yeah.
And what's yours? Because last time I spoke to you, you went up one.
I'm 4th right now. If they re-rank, I don't know what they're gonna do because they put a lot of weight into hot dogs. And I got 4th this year at the contest, so I don't know if they're
Yeah.
gonna move James Webb up or if they're gonna keep him where he is. Or it's really hard to say how they do it because it's not. I don't think there's like a mathematical equation to how they do this shit.
Yeah. I think you were number 6 when I first met you.
Yeah. So like I went from 15th to 8th to 6th to 4th. And like we'll see, where things go. But yeah, there was overall everything was it was the trip was really cool. And then there's people over there, like there's a couple really good eaters from Thailand and Taiwan that came over because they don't have as many contests. And like kid came up to me, he's like, can I hug you and thank you so much for coming and this, that, and the other? And it's like, yeah, dude, I'm just a regular dude. I could just eat 240 slices of cheese at a time. It's just and that. So that was really cool to see. Like sometimes I think we forget, her and I, that people watch Nathan's and people watch what we do, and because to us it's just work, it's a job, and we're appreciative. But like, just like anything, I imagine it's the same thing for not equating what we do to like, professional football, basketball, baseball player, whatever. But they probably just forget. To them, it's like Ken Griffey Jr. was just Ken, or I think his real first name is George. But like, it's like he's just a guy. You forget that people are like, oh my God, you're this thing, and so that part's surreal, but it makes you appreciate your job a lot. You're like, oh, okay, I make people happy, or people look up to what I do. I'm gonna be like, you gotta look up to different people, man. Look at it, but that part was really cool.
Yeah. Well, like to be honest, like besides yourself and Miki, I wouldn't. Maybe would you Badlands Chugs? That's kind of it. The rest, I'm like, yeah, you eat a lot, but that's about it. No offense. I'm sure they're your buddies, whatever. But
Yeah.
double-edged thing with you was like you used to be a bodybuilder, so like you're just jacked guy, you know, single-digit body fat from what it looks like, and then you devour like a shit ton of food. So it looks weird.
It's definitely different, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. You know, we got a few contests coming up between like we got Wing Fest coming up in Buffalo. She's won the last 2 wing eating championships in Buffalo. I won the most recent one in Miami, and then we got like tamales or pork roll in Jersey, and then tamales in Texas. So we got a few contests coming up in September.
There is nothing like that over here.
Yeah.
There used to be an oyster eating competition in Galway.
I was gonna
That,
say,
I'm pretty sure that was
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
She got a free trip to Ireland. I think it was like 7 years ago to participate in the oyster eating contest. It was her and this guy we know, Bob, and they went to represent MLE in the oyster eating contest. And she always likes to say she tied for second, but there was only 3 people in the contest. So, but she's like, there was a guy who's like the oyster king over there, and he won like every fucking year, and he's the one that won the contest. She always said she would never eat oysters in contest until they offered her a free trip to Ireland. She's like, yeah, I'll go.
So fucking gross. Can you imagine your big thing is, hey guys, I'm the oyster king. I can eat 400 oysters without puking.
I think the record's 42 dozen. My buddy Darren's got the record. When they used to do one in New Orleans, Acme, he did 42 dozen.
What
in
the
10 minutes.
fuck?
Man, that's like 804 fucking oysters.
It's a lot. Yeah, he
Average
to me,
oyster consumer.
That's a boogie, bro. It's just a. I'm not an oyster person. Like, no disrespect to people who like them, but to me, that's just a boogie on a shell. I'm gonna go.
That's way too much fucking food out of the sea, man. Just put it back.
Yeah, well, you hate fish, don't you? Just like all round, no matter what.
Yeah.
He likes
To be
breaded
fair,
chicken and nothing else.
To be fair, I hate most foods. So.
We got a picky eater and a guy who will eat anything for money. So this is a great episode.
I did chicken
Yeah.
nuggets. I wanted to see how many I could eat. This was like, God, probably like 4 years ago. And I want to say I got to like 250 and just felt really bad. So, that was rough.
Yeah.
I remember catching a live stream of yours, and it's one of the weirdest things during COVID. Just catching a live stream of you, and you were eating something, some kind of like chocolate sweet you have over in the States, and
Oh yeah.
you were taking a break, and you're like, yeah, about halfway now.
Yeah,
I completely forget what it was.
COVID, doing like I think I did like the Twix eggs or the Snickers
Yes,
eggs.
yes, it was one of the eggs.
Yeah, and they're just because sweets just become so abrasive. Like one, because all the chewing and stuff, and it tears your mouth up. But your blood sugar really starts to go, and you like your ears will start to ring, or you'll get really nauseous. And
Ears will ring.
That's where like you start to question. You're like, dude, this is the dumbest job ever. Like, I should have just been an accountant, or I should go back to school and just be like an EMT or something. And and then there's the opposite of that when you're in Thailand and you're like looking over a balcony and you're like, oh, okay, this job's pretty cool.
You're a fairly health conscious guy, right? But like, I imagine a lot of guys who do this might not be, especially like if you look, unfortunately, some of them aren't in the best shape. But like, do you know any guys who like have given themselves like diabetes or some kind of sickness like that from competitive eating? No names, but just yes or no.
From competitive eating, I think some people use anything as an excuse to, left to their own devices, people will become worse and worse. It's no different than somebody who like lives alone, maybe doesn't interact with a lot of people, cuts everybody out. It's like they will become the worst versions of themselves because no one's there to check you. So sometimes people self-select, and I think they put themselves into competitive eating just like they might put themselves into something else, and they'll self-select competitive eating because it's just an excuse for them to eat bullshit all the time because they like eating bullshit, and then they can just tell people that they're a competitive eater. I do it for my job or I do it for whatever, when in actuality, it's an excuse for them just to eat shit all the time. Where most of us that are at the, I don't like saying top tier, sounds self-important. But if you look at Joey, Jeff, Mickey, myself, Gideon, James, whatever, we're all in average shape or slightly better.
Prove
Because
it.
we understand this is a job
Prove it.
that needs to be taken seriously.
It's a flex. Prove it. Jesus Christ. Get this guy on stage.
Yeah, so I mean, it's there's definitely probably some people that have competitive eating has exacerbated the issue that they may have, but I don't think that could be. You could really place the blame there as much as It's like somebody who's a perpetual like obsessive about work, or overworker. It doesn't matter where you put them; they're gonna do that. They're gonna be like that. They're gonna obsess about work.
What are you laughing at me for? I swear to God.
You do no work.
No, listen, all right. I work very hard, okay? With Saturday being an exception, because yes, I went into work for 3 hours and spent 2.5 watching football. That's not the point. Point is, I am a hard worker.
Believe him.
Yes.
Just take his word for it.
Believe me.
No.
Yes, just take my word for it. I am a hard worker.
Very hard.
Yeah. Someone has to be.
Someone has to do it.
Yeah,
Someone has to do it.
Overall, well, yeah, when I think even just going down the rankings, and I think it's becoming more and more prevalent too. Like you're seeing people, like my buddy Bartley is a tank. He's practiced with me a few times. He's a classic physique pro, so he's jacked as hell, probably about 260. James, who just joins in good shape. There's that guy Steve Hammond that like runs marathons and shit. I think he's ranked top 12, top 15 or something. So I think it's becoming more and more common for people who are in above average shape to do this at a high level, because you find it's just easier to balance versus like, well, I feel like dog shit all the time. Now I got to go eat 9 pounds of Spam in 8 minutes.
I could eat 9 pounds of Spam. Easy.
It's rough,
I'm
and
a
that's
fan.
probably the worst I've ever felt.
Yeah?
I think so. I think that's the worst I've ever felt after an eating contest. It's the sodium was so much to process. Like my fingers were like Jimmy Dean sausages, and I had like T-Rex arms and big head, and it just it's just you're so swollen from all the sodium, and then your body is trying to get rid of the sodium. So the way it tries to do that is by going to the bathroom. It's not a pleasant next 36 hours.
Don't recommend it.
Yeah, don't.
36 hours. That's pretty rough.
Yeah, it was not fun, but that was a fun contest. It was cool,
Lads, what's the most you've ever eaten?
Oh, fuck.
I mean, the most I probably eat at any one time is probably like Christmas, because I will just fucking hoover up food like a black hole at Christmas. Like, I'll go up for like second and third portions of fucking food at Christmas.
Has to be done.
I mean, I'd say I gained at least a stone when we were in Spain. I think I did.
Yeah, but you didn't eat fuck all when we were in Spain, though.
Yeah, I did. Man, we had McDonald's and pizza every day, man.
Yeah, but that's like small portions. Like that was like
get out. It was not small portions.
Man.
Yeah, but how many packets of Watsits you have?
Oh,
we had like one bag each.
But also like the drinking as well. How many calories in the fucking cocktails you bought?
Yeah, like,
way too many. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck tons.
Yeah.
Fuck tons.
That's the easiest answer. Too much.
I mean, it got to the point where he got sick, like everywhere, man. He got sick
Man,
outside
you were
the
the
street.
same. You were the same the first night we were there.
I wasn't, man. Nah,
you
nah,
were,
nah.
man.
Nah.
Man.
Don't believe him. Don't believe him. I don't get sick easy.
I don't condone it. Yeah, I definitely don't condone it. Like that's actually how this started. Is like I would go out to eat or whatever. I'd be like with my friends at a China buffet, and they'd be like, "Dude, what the f is going on?" Because they would just be like mind-boggling. Like, you've been up to the tray like 8 times. I'm like, ow. They're like, yeah, you have. I'm like, yeah, I guess. And that's when you start to realize, like, oh, okay, maybe I'm just a little bit different. than everybody else. You know, like that's, I guess it's the equivalent of someone who's like 6'8", be like, oh shit, I'm 6'8", I should play basketball. Like something like that.
What does a person who's 6'8" do over here? There's no fucking basketball here.
Walks into
It'd
doors.
just be a pain in the ass for everyone else.
Be like an electrician or something, like change light bulbs.
There you go.
There he
Stands at the
is.
very front of fucking concerts to piss everybody else off behind them. Bends over like a 90-degree angle to walk through doors. Has to drive an articulate just to have enough leg room.
I don't know what they would have done in Thailand. Like, I know the shower heads were set where I kind of had to duck. And I'm only like 5'10", 5'11", and it was like hitting me here. Everything's kind of set up. Like I think people outside the United States are just smaller. Like typically just less wide and overweight and stuff like that. But if we travel internationally, like things are typically just not as gigantic. Like people just take up less space. Especially like we went to Italy, and the cars are smaller, the bathrooms are smaller, the people are smaller. Like, holy shit, it's crazy.
Yeah, been there. Yeah, small people.
I think it's funny.
Bidets are everywhere too, and travel internationally, which I was shocked.
Never seen one.
At the accuracy of that bidet. You would have thought that thing had known me my entire life. I almost jumped off. Like, seriously, it was like one of those games at a carnival where you got to fill the clown's mouth up, and whoever wins, like, dude, that thing would have won every time. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy.
What we got here?
Hi. You say hi. Say hi.
Oh my god, they're tiny.
Buddy? Did you have a good nap? Nap. Yeah. Good job, Butters.
How old are we now?
He turned 2 July 8th, but he's in like 5T clothes. And like he just a very big. You smart?
Smart.
And strong?
Strong.
Can you show me how strong you are? How strong? Strong.
He has the same mohawk.
Yeah, I like the haircut.
Yeah.
He needs a trim, otherwise he looks just like mom. Right. Wave hello. Say hello. You gonna go have pancakes? Can I get a high five?
Can I have some pancakes?
I'll have some.
That's one thing I gotta tip my hat to in the States. American pancakes, body any European pancake I've had.
Yeah.
Going to a Denny's is my favorite thing in the States. I'm dead serious, Nick. I fucking love Denny's.
It's funny because
those chocolate chip pancakes and that slice of pie you get at the end, it's fucking incredible.
Send me in.
It's just looked at as like the most like basic 2 o'clock in the morning doo-doo restaurant by people over here.
You're joking. No way. Denny's is god tier. It's better than anything else. Arby's doesn't. Nothing is as good as Denny's.
I will say we had like waffles in Munich on our way back traveling through. Those are pretty good. Like almost like the cinnamon sugar and syrup and stuff on them. Those are pretty legit.
Oh yeah.
But you know what sucks about the States? And you might have to defend this, Nick. Tipping. Fucking hate tipping. Tipping is awful.
Oh, it's a huge expectation to be tipped at a like minimum of like 15% or whatever. And there's this strange thing where I don't know how it is internationally, but like here, and it's the only certain states because the state laws are different. You can pay servers less than minimum wage because they're tipped. So then what's expected is like, well, I'm barely getting paid anything. So you have to tip me based on your bill, even if I gave you service or did whatever. You're expected to tip me, and like that's a tough one. Yeah, like actually, Mickey and I were just having that conversation the other day because it's like I don't know who's tipped or like who's paid less than minimum wage, who isn't, and just because you did your job, I now have to tip you. Like if you go
because the multi-million-dollar companies can't afford it, Nick.
Yeah, like I'm more than happy to go above and beyond and give me like kick-ass service and whatever to like whatever help you out.
Nick, they only made $400 million in profit this year. Only $400 million.
If you just if you munged up my burger order 3 times, I shouldn't tip you.
But did you like when you were in Europe, when you were in Asia, you didn't have to tip, or did you tip anyway?
We would still tip like if we did like a taxi or something, I might do that, like depending on like, but not necessarily like we didn't really go out to eat too much. But it's definitely different. And what we typically do is when we're there for work, we're not with a guide, but somebody kind of show us around, and we kind of talk to them about like what the culture is like, and because we really try not to be those people who travel and don't give a shit about the culture that they're surrounded by, so they just act like they do at home. You know, it's like no. When we're in Thailand, we want to do things, you know, according to their culture, the right way, or like we noticed when we were walking down the street, you can get stuff to go from like a convenience store or whatever, but nobody's eating. Like walking down the street, like in America, it'd be really common if you were just walking down in like a public, people would be like munching on a whatever popsicle or a burger or whatever. They don't. Even though there's food carts on the street, almost no one's consuming it. They take it and then they go to wherever they're gonna go.
Unless you're at a beach, that's not a thing here either.
Really?
Yeah.
I seen a guy in town recently, and he was just walking around with a battered sausage and a bunch of chips. He was doing a loop of the like town center.
Yeah,
I was just he was with him, but I was just thinking like, what is this guy at? Like he's just this big brown bag scooping a chip out every now and then. But yeah, we wouldn't do that here either. That's one thing that is a bit strange about the States. Walking around with a hot dog.
Yeah.
Go sit down with your sandwich.
We try to adapt. You know, we try to adapt to like wherever we are. You know, at the time, and like even. You notice one thing in Italy is like everybody smokes. When we were in Italy, like it was like such a high percentage, and in the States,
welcome to Europe.
Less. You know, and they're smoking inside, even like a lot of places, and like that was. I'm not gonna say anything, like it's not my place to say something, but it just kind of it takes you back, you know, when you're there. But like regardless, we just try to just do everything, or at least. Like we'll try to learn in different languages how to say like please or thank you or good morning or whatever, and not just be those people that are like meh, just grunting at people as they travel internationally.
You know, those smoking bars and restaurants, like that's something I've only ever seen once, and when I seen it shook me. First time I ever had Guinness, I was in Greece, and they told us they paid extra to get it from Ireland because everywhere else you get it from South Africa, and at 10 o'clock. You're legally allowed to smoke inside the bars, and everyone just started smoking up. I'm like, I just came from Ireland where you'd be fucking ripped apart for this.
Yeah. Although I think it's become quite common to see like people vaping and stuff in bars.
But it's not allowed, but people do it.
It's not allowed, yeah. But like no one says anything to you. It's just kind of accepted as like, oh yeah, okay, right, whatever.
People do that here. They'll like, or like they'll hit their vape. Right outside the door, walk into the door wherever they're going and go and spray their raspberry vanilla bullshit all over the inside of the store. And it's like, you couldn't have waited 4 seconds? Like, no, it's okay because it's not a cigarette. Yeah, I'm sure your lungs enjoy your synthetic raspberry vanilla nonsense. I'm sure they're going to be psyched about that.
Yeah.
Breathe air, you idiot. If it's anything other than air, it's not supposed to go into your lungs.
We all agree. We all agree.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, we've all been guilty of it at some point.
Definitely did not spend every night in Spain sat up on the balcony in my undercrackers with a fucking fat cigar.
No. Listen, I don't smoke, okay? I don't do it.
How many vapes have you got in your room right now, Crow?
Don't even vape, man.
That's the original vape.
Yeah, there you go.
With 6 in my room or 5.
Man. Why have you got 6 vapes in your?
Pretty much when I stopped, when I was finished with college, I haven't touched them since. Yeah,
better off.
But in college, man, like everyone's doing it. Everyone, people are like, you're hanging out, you're chatting outside. You want some, and it just goes from there.
No, don't want to put my lips on the same crusty thing you just had your chompers on. Get away from me.
When you're waiting 4 hours for your next class, that's mandatory. You'll understand.
Nah, man.
I was running an adult novelty store for a while. I don't know what you call those in Ireland, but you know, like mainly
Corner
just a
shop.
sex shop is probably the easiest way to refer to it.
I think I
But-
told the lads about this earlier. Did I tell you
Yeah.
about this? Yeah.
No, not me. Anyway.
So they had something called the Vaporator,
Oh no.
and that was a
Oh.
vape that doubled as a vibrator. Real thing now.
Oh.
and all I
That's
can
so
think was,
stupid.
like,
Send me a link.
some people things should be just kept exclusive to them.
Where do I
But I
point?
mean, obviously some people were psyched about it. Like it sold, people bought it. And I think it was only I think like $50, $54. So it was like as cheap as just buying a vape over here. So people would buy that like, oh, just doubles is whatever. But I'm like, yeah, but germs and cleanliness and maybe just don't put that.
Like, how are you gonna put that in your mouth and then put it in your other mouth?
I mean, yeah.
From one pair of lips to the other. How are you? Why would you want to do that?
Put it to the lips of both crowns.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that was like one of the least, you know.
He's actually looking it up.
Crazy
He's looking
thing.
up on his phone right there.
It's one of me. Amazon cart right there. Order it after this
It's by a
episode.
company called Maya, Maia. Yeah,
Big,
they're the ones
big,
that make
big
it.
luminous green one.
MIA, all right.
I'm telling you.
Those ones in Ireland are always so weird. No one ever goes in unless they're like covered up completely. Back when there was face
Yeah.
masks everywhere, people started going in. They started getting serious business.
Yeah.
Business went up during COVID. Yeah, during face masks and shit, like business went way up for sex shops, and because people were stuck in their house, you had nothing to do except for each other or yourself, and so like you're gonna fill the time with something.
Jesus
And-
Christ. Pulling the rod off yourself for 3 years.
So it's like
Just pulling yourself apart for 3 years.
what I
'cause you've
realized, like
nothing
working
else
there,
to
is like
do.
everybody goes into these stores. Like probably 90% of people either have been in one or do go in one, and they run in. They're like, "Oh God, I gotta get out of here!" Like, why? Because people are gonna know that you have sex in your life. Like, oh my God, run! Don't let anybody see it. They just thought a stork dropped your kids off at your front door. Like, God forbid. People know,
Right.
because most people in there are just getting, you know, lingerie, shoes, novelty stuff with their significant other.
No one's buying shoes in there. Yeah, I don't believe you.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, dude, yeah. we
Who's
sold a
buying
lot of
shoes in there, man?
Like
Me.
dancers, like strippers and dancers buy a lot of shoes in there.
All right.
Yeah. Think
That's a
of
big
the
part of the
workers.
We don't have
Dash
workers
Jordans.
over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't even have strippers
Because-
over here.
Yeah, but there's a good reason for that.
yeah. So,
So what's the
they
reason?
buy a
You-
lot of the shoes and stuff.
You.
What do you mean me? What do you mean me?
No. What's the good reason we don't have any strippers over here?
Because 90% of the female population, once they turn 18, are already pregnant or married.
Oh, yeah, true.
That doesn't stop them from becoming dancers here.
Yeah, no, it does.
Almost encourages it.
Yeah, but it's.
I know. I mean, why you don't need to do that anymore? You just got OnlyFans and all that stuff to do instead. You know, I'll
that's a
slap my
big
feet
part
up
of
on
the
here.
business. Yeah, cam
Yeah.
shows and
Want to see my feet? I'll show you for a $5. Just
yeah.
ignore the massive fucking barnacle on the end of my big toe, though. You know, that's meant to be there.
Barnacle.
You pay extra for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one thing that I hate about OnlyFans is people who do it who shouldn't be doing it. Now, I'm not
Go on.
talking about actual like
Elaborate.
you're too young, you're too
Go
old, or
on.
whatever. People who are like
Elaborate.
very ugly doing it. I hate it. I remember I'm on this thing called Hive, and it was set up as like an alternate social media when Twitter was being bought by Elon, right? So it works a bit like old Instagram, only photos and so on. But recently, I've pretty much ready to uninstall at this point. It's basically become a big fetish thing, right? So there's a lot of like,
Why are you only
fat-
telling me
fat
about
feet.
this now?
and there's a lot of people who really shouldn't be doing that content. You know, a face only a mother could love, that kind of stuff.
Sending chin pictures.
Yeah. You know, body shaming is one thing, but you know, subconsciously we all think the same thing when we see these images.
Put it away.
Put it away. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
my 2
God.
cents. If you don't have the face for it, don't do it. If you got 4
That's
crooked
why
toes,
people-
don't touch it.
That's why people sell other stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, there's this one girl on it, and I blocked her instantaneously. She followed me, and she did fetish videos. She sent me a message like, "Do you want to buy?" And I'm like, "What? Buy what?" And I check her
No.
profile. She does puke
Why
fetish.
me?
She would puke all over herself, or she'd puke onto something or into something. And
Jesus.
my faith in humanity just
Man,
fucking
listen.
boom straight down.
Plummeted.
When society hits the point where watching somebody vomit is a fetish, that's not even a fetish. That's
People got-
behavior that's getting you sent straight to a fucking mental institute, man.
People got a fetish for a lot of some. I always just tell people when they come into the store, like, as long as you're within the realm of legality, go with it. Like stay.
That
Stay
does
legal.
not help the cause whatsoever. That pretty much narrows it down from literally anything you could possibly do within
brown
the
showers
realm of humanity.
and waffle stomping is within
man.
the law, Nick. That doesn't mean you should do it.
Oh man.
Hey, it could be anything, man. Shit in the bed could be one of them. You know what I mean?
Man.
Yeah.
It
Fun
was
fact,
one
Nick.
wet
Fun
fart.
fact.
It was
Will
one
here
wet-
shit the bed the other day.
It was one wet fart.
So on the trip, he browned the bed at some point.
Yeah, the first night we were there, had a wet
Felt
Fella's
fart.
proud of it and all. He's
Lad,
proud
you know
of it.
what? Do you know what? It makes for a funny story, okay? I've no shame. It happened. Fuck it.
Proud of you for being open about
Happens
this.
to the best of us.
For owning it.
Do you got any weird stories from when you were in there, Nick?
Word and at the store. I mean, I would just say like some of it was really cool because it would be like older couples would come in, talking 50, 60, 70 years old or older. And they've been married, like some of them 30, 40, 50 years. And those were fun because so one couple came in and they were just buying some, I just call it basic stuff. Let's say like a lubricant, I think a massage oil, and a toy of some nature. And very nice, casually walking around. They just asked like where the lubricants were, if you know what the differences were in some of them, because there's a lot of different like base oils and stuff.
Yeah.
People have allergies. And the wife was like, you know, do people prefer warming or cooling more? And I'm like, that's a personal preference deal. You know, so that's up to you and your husband. And she's like, do you want to hear something funny? And part of me is like, nope. But it was she's like, after this we're going to church. And she was 76 and her husband was like 80 and they had been married like 50 years. And I'm like, but that to me was so cool because I'm like, you guys have been together 50 years. You're going to church when you get out of the sex store. You're buying some toys to be with each other. I'm like, that's probably why you've been married 50 years. You have an incredible life balance.
I
of
mean,
just still
You know
like
what?
dating each other.
Jokes aside, you're 100% right.
to be
It's,
fair,
yeah, that was just so cool to see. Like because it's funny, older people would be much more open typically. Where younger people come in like, oh, I don't need help, and they just like wander around like all scared, and they just grab something and put it on the counter. I'm like, dude, I'm not. This is my job. Like,
Hey, where's your biggest dildo?
yeah, or like that. Or like, I have a weird question. You know, I have a weird question. Do you have like lube? Like, is that really the weird question that you ask?
Yeah.
Like, you're like, no, dude. Like, and I'd rather have people ask questions because, like, I want you to come in, realize the question you're asking isn't that taboo, get the right product, leave, go do whatever you're gonna do, be happy about it, come back.
or
Like,
who?
no one really, no one really cares. Or they'd be like, my wife won't come in here, my husband won't come in here, my boyfriend this, and or if you could disarm. It was cool working with couples, you know, because like couple comes in, especially younger couples. If it was like a let's say a guy and a girl, and they're coming in and like she wants to look at like a vibrator, the boyfriend would be super threatened. Like super threatened. He's like, "Oh, do I need this? Everything's fine." Like, all right, put your chest down, okay? Like, let's take your voice. Let's take that voice down a few octaves. But like, and you just try to explain to him, you'd be like, "Well, I don't see what the point is," and I would kind of just ask him, like, "Look, do you vibrate, my friend?" I don't think so. And if you do, you need to go to the doctor. Okay, like, and secondly, this isn't something we're not replacing something here. This is going to make you better at your job. So this is like the equivalent of what we'd call an illegal procedure in American football. Let him kick it out of bounds. Take the ball at the 40-yard line. 40% of your job is done. Why wouldn't you be like, no, I'd rather go 100 yards. I don't want to go 40. I want to do everything my damn self. Like, dude, make your job easier. And here's the other thing, if she buys that toy with you, or vice versa, like a guy buying like a fleshlight or whatever with the girlfriend there, there's now that, and you guys use it together, there's now a positive mental association with you and that toy. So like anytime it's used, you're just building on your relationship. So when dudes are like, if you have that attitude and you treat it like a resentful, like scared, insecure prick, and you can't talk to her about it, or vice versa, she can't talk to him about it, yeah, there's no way. There's no way anything's gonna work. Just like get beyond it. And why don't you both get something that you're happy with and go home and be like, oh no, I don't want something that's going to make our sex life better and bring us closer together. I just want to be further apart.
You do not look like the type of guy to have that take. Like, he's in a wife beater. He's jacked out of his fucking mind. He's a mohawk and tattoos. He's being like so accepting of that.
That is such a stereotype.
It looks like there's wrestling belts behind him as well, right?
I think it's just like that's what I learned is like you realize how non-taboo those conversations are and how you can use these things as relationship builders just based on the perspective that you take. Like it doesn't have to be and so many people take this like hard line in the sand like no, this isn't needed. It's like nothing technically is needed. Like you could also say like we never need to go out to dinner. I don't understand what's wrong with the steak I make at home. It's like, dude, go out for a steak every once in a while.
Get a night off of cooking.
Yeah, the experience together. Like that's what this is ultimately about. And there's so many different things. It doesn't have to be a gimp mask and a cock cage or a chastity belt or whatever. Like it could be super basic stuff at first. Just get like a warming massage oil.
You just gave me some PTSD real quick. Speaking of those chastity cases, I found out fairly recently on Twitter that a guy I went to school with is a furry. And that's one thing. He's a VR chat furry. That's cool. Do your thing, buddy. But on his Twitter, which was formerly his public Twitter, then became private, but I already followed it, so then scrolling by. And what do I see? A little peen. Very little peen. Locked in a little cage. And this guy works in a shop I have to go to a lot. And I can never look him in the eyes properly. Ever. It haunts me.
I want you to tell me who it is because I'm very curious.
Yeah, sure. But no, I'm not, like, it is awful. So just knowing a guy back in the day, oh, he was so funny in school. Oh, there's his cock. Oh, no.
I mean...
It'll warp perceptions. It'll change your life.
I mean,
you'll develop trust issues.
As far as them stories go, I mean, this isn't really personal to me, but
you're not wearing one, are you?
Not anymore. I took it off earlier to wash it.
But
did either of you two fellas hear that your one that went on like one of the radio stations here the other day, and she was saying like how she was home alone and she was doing whatever around the house, got bored, decided to whack one out or whatever, found like this shoebox under like her parents' bed or something with like a load of like all these toys and stuff in. Had to play around and hook out a vibrator or whatever. Turns out when she was talking to her parents about it after or whatever, like because they're asking like why the shoebox was like taken from under the bed or whatever, blah blah blah. Turns out that the vibrator she used was actually molded off of her father's dong.
Oh. A lifetime of therapy.
I'd shoot a railroad spike through my skull if that happened. There was no limit to the creativity of how I would off myself if that happened. Holy!
She reached conclusion to a model of her father's dong.
Reached conclusion.
That is cursed. That is cursed.
Glorious note. Apparently my buddy is having a little bit of a meltdown. so I am going to have to run, gentlemen.
That's all good.
But I appreciate the chat and the traumatizing story.
No problem.
But I'm sure,
all week.
hopefully, we speak again sometime soon.
See you later, Nick. You take care, buddy.
It's a pleasure.
All right, man.
See you
I'm going,
later.
guys.
See ya.
And
I read that, or no, I
in
saw
the,
it
in
on
the third
TikTok,
person.
actually. I saw that story on TikTok here, like in during the week. I can't remember what the radio station was that she rang into.
Can't
But
believe
I remember,
it.
like,
I actually can't
I was
believe it.
watching the TikTok, and it was like she was going on like she was home, there was no one
Oh,
home,
no.
like she was like bored, decided to like pull one out or whatever. Knew like her parents had like this box of like sex toys when they were younger or whatever in the bedroom under the bed.
But why would she
Pulls out
go
the
and get her
shoebox.
parents' sex toys?
I don't know.
What is
for
wrong with her?
Spontaneity, I don't know.
How
using
desperate?
a
Get a toothbrush. They vibrate.
Using a toothbrush or a hairbrush. I don't know. But yeah, supposedly like the
That's
one she
cursed.
happened to pick out was molded off of her father's dong.
That's
Like,
cursed. That's cursed.
You would
Man,
find me on
fucking-
suicide watch if that
That's-
happened.
That is the most Alabama shit I've ever heard in my life. Like
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
That's
That is
incest
actually
stuff.
crazy.
imagine like after
Literally,
going
Crow.
and reaching, like imagine reaching a conclusion to a good fucking Steely Dan and finding out it's molded off your father's dong. Like,
Off a fat dick, man. Fucking
I mean, I tried to keep it somewhat PG by saying Steely Dan, but no, Crow just has to come in like a fat fucking dong.
Yeah, because we're not monetized and there's no sponsors on the fucking corner over there, we can say whatever we want for now. But
within you know reason.
within legal reason, you know.
Yeah.
That is so bad, man.
Like, how does one even like actually like process that?
I
In
wonder what the
a
girl thought
home,
about it.
locked up. Dude, I'm sure that woman is like traumatized for life.
She's
Oh, big
in
time.
Arkham Asylum in a straitjacket right now, man. Fucking
I
off her
didn't
head.
know. I didn't know.
Oh, man.
I wish I still didn't know.
Either that or she's having the time of her life with her father.
Here's one thing, right?
Try it for real, huh?
Just to get off the dildo thing. I was looking into
you really couldn't have picked two better words than get off and then use the word dildo like immediately
Yeah.
after.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
You're very welcome. You're all week.
We were talking about the Aldi pre-workout during the week. Number one, it's crazy. Aldi has a pre-workout. Crow, it is mid. It is actually very mid. So I looked into it and what's in it. The creatine is fine. Right, whatever. Caffeine, reasonable amount. But all the other chemicals in it, so, you know, the stuff that will give you a pump, like L-carnitine, L-citrulline, whatever, they are like so low in it, it basically doesn't matter. One of the ingredients on it is 5 milligrams of pepper extract, like black pepper. Like they just put whatever the fuck into it. Like this literally just sprinkle that. Just like, but like
As you do.
with most of the things inside of it, you don't even hit the minimum dose to feel a difference unless you quad scoop. And you take 4 scoops, you've taken 2. I think almost 3,000. Hold on, I'll check the caffeine content. Fucking mental. I did the maths on it and I was horrified. You take 525 milligrams of caffeine. 400 makes me get sick.
Oh Jesus.
So yeah, it was. What are you doing?
Sorry, I was watching a piranha chew on a stick.
Perry's fucking head down. But yeah, I looked into it and it was. This is pretty much useless besides the fact it looks kind of nice.
Yeah.
Caffeine's
How much
cool,
was
whatever.
it?
The beta
Must be really
alanine
what
in
you
it
had
is
yesterday,
pretty
wasn't
good. I didn't buy it. My sister bought it, and then she took too much, and she said keep it.
Ah,
How much was it?
I said I have no idea.
Alright.
But yeah, if it's cheap anyway, so that's your thing. Go for it. But like,
Calvin blood.
it's
Calvin blood.
dog shit. Like, full of
Calvin blood
fucking.
at its finest.
It's like a multivitamin with some creatine and caffeine. The beta alanine in it is pretty cool. You ever hear bodybuilders would ever say they get itchy when they're lifting weights? That's the thing that does it, beta alanine. But yeah, it was whatever in the end.
No TRT needed. Fucking.
I kind of wanted to talk to Nick about the TRT stuff because Nick is on TRT. He was on roids or whatever when he did bodybuilding. But yeah, you sent in this guy fairly recently who was absolutely yoked, and he's saying he eats like fucking vegetables and meat.
He eats a few eggs. He drinks a bit of water, man, and he's yoked. He looked at him like, huh?
He looked ridiculous, and he's definitely lying. Like there's a lot of people who lie about that stuff, man, because like just it makes sense. If I hopped on a bunch of SARMs and I got yoked and I said it was natural, and I put out like a program and I said, okay, if you do this workout, you could probably look like me. If I release my own supplements after, take this, you'll look like me. People do that shit, and you know
they don't look like
fuck with you. Like Alex Eubank, you keep sending stuff from him, bro.
Oh, well, the odd time. I only said one thing yesterday.
I kind of think he could be natural, but he has his own supplement company. He has his own apparel company. He's so much shit in the fitness world, but he looks a bit too good to be natural. And back in the day when he did videos when he was younger, he always talked about taking growth hormone, and you can take certain SARMs to increase your growth hormone and so on. I don't know. We'll see.
That was some grade A level bullshit.
Take some of them supplements to increase the size of your wang, huh? Fucking third leg.
You know what?
On the topic of wang extension, I've got another story that I read about during the week. So,
go on.
Did you hear about this spider that was found in some street corner shop in Brazil?
Yeah.
Oh no! I thought you were about to talk about the one in Australia that gives you a fucking painful erection for like a whole day or something.
No,
is the pain manageable?
It could be the same one. So like,
is it manageable?
There's a spider found in some shop in Brazil, and they had to call in like fucking like pest control, the whole lot, shut the shop down because they found a spider. Like, one of the side effects or one of the symptoms of like being bit by this some bitch was like having like a 4-hour fucking stiffy.
But that has to be directly on the bite. Has to be directly like on the way.
Does it, or do you just make that up?
No. What do you think? It's
well, like it makes sense. Like swelling would happen somewhere else. So like if it bit the peen, you know,
if it bites you, it's still in the bloodstream anyway, and the blood flows to the old Dong Kong. So either way, it's gonna get there eventually.
Like, who knows?
Schlong Kong himself, fucking.
Walking around trying to get the wang to get out. It's like one of them yolks you have at your doors in your fucking house to stop smacking into the wall. One of those door sticker things. You're flicking that as a kid, your fucking wang just bouncing around like that.
With speaking of peen extension, one of the things I was going to talk about a second ago was ball extensions, right? There's a shit ton of supplements you can take to make your balls bigger, but there is none for making your peen bigger. You can walk around with these gigantic testicles and an average dong. Nature really just wanted to let men know, like, this is work with what you got. You can get bigger muscles, you can get longer hair, you can get better teeth. Can't get a bigger wang. And even the surgeries for it,
classic surgery, boy. About this fucking size, man.
With the surgery, what they do is there's a little ligament, you know, like you can make your peen go whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh yeah.
Right? They slice the tendon, so the rest of it can come out. They can pull out a bit more in like an inch and a half, 1 inch. But the thing is, you'll never be able to move it again. It'll just always be hanging down by its own weight. And also, it can be butchered. It can be butchered, and you can lose it. They can mess it up.
That face looked like he was debating it for a minute there. Should I not?
You know what? Turkey is a cool place this time of year.
Listen, alright. I am about to go full fucking chop on me dong just to end up like Gorlock the Destroyer after it. Get out.
Gorlock the Destroyer.
Speaking of Gorlock, that video is 10 million plus views.
Popped off, man.
Popped off.
That's the biggest video I've ever done. This month, before that video popped off, I was looking at it. 700,000, 900,000 views. and then it's popped off, and now this month is 12 million views.
On your account, like.
It's gonna keep going up. Like that video has got 2 million views every single day for the last 4 days.
How many likes has it got? Must have a shit ton of likes as well.
600,000.
Fucking hell, boys.
But this is something I talk about when I used to do like streaming, and I tell people like what to do with their clips and how like to get views. Put it everywhere. That video got 4,000 on TikTok. It got less than 1,000 on Snapchat. It got less than 100 on Facebook views. But it got 10, well now 11 million on Instagram. So post it everywhere.
Because you have 3,200 followers already, man. Like
I had 400 when I posted it.
6 weeks ago. Yeah, honest to God, man.
Fucking skyrocketed, like.
People are asking for fitness advice as well, and I'm like not really in a position to give it. Like,
you're like,
I have a little bit from
your secret.
archery back in the day. Oh my the gear I take, the SARMs, yeah. But yeah, people ask for advice, and
take that Gorlock gunk just to get bulk.
Yeah. Yeah,
oh,
but
man.
I did a part 2. It didn't pop off as well. Got 8,000 views. But and we'll keep trying.
Fuck it, lad. That might be your one claim to fame for now, but fucking take it.
Yeah. I broke the record for the most viewed video by an Irish content creator for the year. It was held by another guy. It got 6 million views last year. So this year I have the record. So
smashed it.
Yeah, delighted with that. But we'll do better. I put what haunts me is I put like no effort into that video.
I think
I'll just post more now.
Your niche is Gorlock.
But like the thing is, I'm not inherently fat phobic. Like I don't want to make fun of just fat people all the time. It just Gorlock is a complete goober. They probably do it. You know what? Realistically, you probably could get them.
No, you couldn't, because I've seen like her doing like clips of her like doing interviews, and like she's been talking about like how she literally charges people like 2 or 3 grand just to like be on their podcast and shit. Fuck that shit. I'm not fucking paying that much just for a fucking blob to come sit here and tell us she's a fucking 10 out of 10 when she's a fucking minus 10 out of 10. Fuck no.
One of the things that confused me was finding out that they were originally a dude.
I was gonna say, wasn't she a dude before?
Oh,
the reason it confused me was I was thinking like first time I seen this person, their fat composition, like where the fat is on their body is like a dude. I can't understand. Like there's no tits. There was nothing. Yeah. It was just like how like a dad would have an overhanging stomach.
Yeah.
And yeah, it took me a while to realize. Oh, that was a dude.
Like if you're gonna transition, at least transition into something fucking decent looking.
Make it believable.
Yeah.
No, not that you can gatekeep it or whatever, but Gorlock.
Yeah, you can. Watch me.
Gorlock is something else.
Oh, stop.
There he is. There he is.
That's the guy you were talking about on TRT. He is lying if he says he's not on something. Can you find out how old he is? Does he say?
He's 51. He's 50 fucking.
Mike O'Hearn is 50, and he's. You can tell this guy was more muscular at some point because his muscles look a bit floppy.
Yeah.
Don't know. I don't think he's natural. I think he's taken something, or he was really fat at some point, then did a massive cut, and this is how he looks right now at his peak.
Yeah.
He couldn't maintain that all year, realistically.
Not a hope. Not a fucking hope. Oh, boys. Fucking look at this, Don.
I've seen you sent us that.
How much does he weigh? How much did he pick up?
Take a guess.
I can't read it, so I don't know. I'm gonna guess it's a 5 plate and a 2.5. So
two and a half on each plate. But the plates are made to look like they're fucking.
Yeah,
30.
like they're massive. Get it from the sides so you can't see how thin they are. Yeah. We were supposed to have other guests on this episode. We ended up having a kind of a fuck up. Not pointing at anybody in particular. But we had
fuck you, it was fucking him.
We ended up having like 3 people booked for this weekend, and then like it just got destroyed because we couldn't do Saturday anymore. And one of the guys who was a backup, and this pisses me off too, one of the guys who was the backup for today, he's a personal trainer in Ireland, and he's kind of well known, does pretty good stuff, was talking back and forth. he looked at my story all day, but he didn't answer my message about getting on today, even though he's supposed to be on yesterday, and never even seen the message of me saying, "Hold on, let's do it tomorrow." So
is it
he would have
cheeky
skipped
fuck?
Saturday anyway. That kind of pisses me off.
Oh,
If you say you're gonna do it, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can you do?
Bug that shit.
Oh man.
Bug that
Oh.
shit.
Gonna get my PC
Oh,
up in
well.
here now. I'm fucking sick of using this fucking Surface laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll probably look better.
Oh,
Yeah.
please.
I get it set up in here now.
But been some interesting developments over the last week among us fellows. Joe,
Name
do
one.
you look like you're set to take a job over in Intel based on
Oh yeah.
what you were saying to us last couple of hours?
Doing the
Whatever.
pipeline, laying some pipe.
Can't wait. Can't wait. But yeah.
Are you actually gonna take this? Are you gonna be laying pipe, man?
Yeah. So we're in Little. One of my dad's friends kind of gave us a nod, and I was like, "Oh, there he is." My dad didn't see it. I was like, "Oh, look who it is, Dad." I had a chat with him, and he's talking about one of the lads just kind of had a dip. He's moving on to a different job. And yeah, you said like looking for someone else, doesn't know what to do. And yeah, I was kind of like, well, I'm kind of looking. Yeah, he says, well, he's on holiday now, but when he gets back, he's going to put in the word, because it's not for Intel, it's for a subcontractor for Intel.
Yeah. Well, on the site, on the factory, on the site
Well,
of
yeah.
the complex, yeah. Yeah, there's always shit going on over there. They're always like letting out like parts of the area to like subcontractors and stuff to work on the sites over there. Like,
yeah, so that should be interesting.
the only thing I was said it to you already. The only thing I would keep in mind is that them contracts are usually only short term or temporary. So you're looking at probably 6 to 9 month contract, and then you're getting let off for like 3 months before you're going back. Like, if they even want you to go back, it'll be a
Yeah,
completely different crop of people by the time they come back. Like,
well, I'll take it.
so look, gives you something to get going at and save you money for now, sure.
Yeah.
Not like,
The whole thing with it is I just want to get the car sorted. I got put on my dad's insurance there recently. We're doing lessons like every other day, and yeah, I just want
When's
to.
your test? When's your test?
I'm not booking the test. I have till 2024 April to get it done, but I haven't even done a practice test. And
what's that when your license runs out?
yeah, and I did
You
my
should
driving
mock a
lessons
test.
over the course of eight months, so I was like shit at every point. So I need to.
Yeah.
I'm doing this with my dad, and then I'm going to be booking lessons again. About 3 lessons again with the guy I did it with originally. Do a practice test, book it, and then just keep driving throughout that period.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I can do it the first time.
I'm assuming you've already got your test booked, have you?
No.
Oh no,
Wait.
not yet. No.
I only got put on the insurance literally 2 weeks ago.
You want to get your pass your test on your first go,
I'd like to.
man. That's like I got mine on my second. Like
Not impossible, but you're not a woman, so you're not going to pass
Yeah.
first time.
It just depends on the.
My girlfriend failed 3 times.
That's a joke, by the way. I'm not saying women have it easy because they don't. I know someone who failed 4 times and she's a woman. So
What's going on with my camera? It's fucking flashing at the minute.
I could have got mine on my first, but I fucked up on one thing, and that was it.
I got cut off on a roundabout on my first one and failed it for that.
That's all it takes, huh?
Yeah. Because the way the instructor will look at it as your fault because you should be the one paying attention because
Yeah.
the learner
depends
is basically at like square one, rock bottom, like so.
It depends on the instructor you have on the day. Like it all depends.
I in that moment I knew I was confident enough to go out and be okay and in a position where I'd be comfortable getting on and off the island before anything could have happened. Like, but the way the instructors see it is, like you should take that situation like a learner and basically be fucking scared shitless and not confident in your abilities, even though you are, because you're a learner driver or whatever. So
yeah, driving's a fun thing, innit?
Got there in the end.
Yeah, you know what's kind of annoying? Like we have a relatively easy driving test compared to people in the States, but they do it so much younger.
Yeah, but they don't.
Must be nice.
You have to drive through cones and shit. Like fuck off, no man.
The mandatory lessons are a new thing, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it sucks. But getting there. Look, about 2-3 weeks ago, I wanted to blow my fucking brains out. Hit 1,000 applications, but now things are kind of getting better. So Yeah, no, this has been probably the worst summer I've ever had. Just finished college and I was like, okay. Application
Yeah.
It's
after
time for
application.
reality.
Man, I spent
Reality
my
time.
birthday applying for applications. Like,
Fuck no.
it hasn't been a single day I haven't been applying.
Fucking chomping on the birthday cake. Come on, man. Pick me
Yeah, I
up.
did
And
more-
Fucking-
I
more than
said this
did.
last episode. Like, entry level does not mean entry level.
No,
Internship doesn't even mean entry level.
no.
They want
Minimum
experience no matter
experience.
what.
Minimum
It's
experience, 5 years, okay? 5 years.
But
man.
also,
5.
have a thing with
When-
the clerical office as well if this other thing doesn't work out. So it'll be interesting.
There
I
you
think you
go.
should. Yeah.
Because if I get the clerical thing, I'm taking it.
Yeah, take
Yeah.
it.
Because
Just take whatever comes first.
having a degree, you get into the higher pay scale faster.
Mm.
And then within 3.5 years, you get the max, which is like 44,000.
Yeah,
But the starting is 29.
yeah. I'll do it to you.
No, I'm gonna try. Actually, I have an
Wow.
assessment for it tomorrow morning. There's no
Right,
time it has to be done, but I'm up at 9 every day, so I'll get it done ASAP.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck it. And yeah.
We all.
Oh yeah.
What was it?
All else fails, I'll go to where the money is. Go to Cavan.
Yahoo! Come up
Oh.
to cabin, man.
Working at McDonald's in front of your house.
Yeah, man. I'll get you in there.
Send me in. Give me a shot, Chief.
Come up for the barbecue. When are you coming up? When are you coming up, man? When are you coming up?
Not
Um,
coming up, I told you that.
I think the last week of this month, or last weekend of this
Are you
month.
Sure. Are you positive?
That's what I said from the start.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
And we'll
Sure?
probably record some shit again. That was kind of fun the last time. We didn't do anything with it, but it was. I did. But
Yeah.
it was pretty fun.
I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do. Like camping, I don't know.
We can't camp. You know, we have a
Oh,
shed.
no, we can't camp. Fucking shed. I mean, or do we have to shed? No, we might not have to shed. Depends.
We'll figure it out anyway. Hit the
What
gym.
weekend?
Go wham.
What weekend is it, Crow?
What you said
What
last?
dates?
The last. He said the last. So 2 weeks time. That's the last weekend. Is 2 weeks.
I'll have to
Which
double
is-
check that.
You won't have that off, will you? If you're working every second week.
Well, not even that. I know I have to bring my mother to the airport again in a couple of weeks.
Man, your
So,
family,
we
like,
can-
do they live in Ireland or do they just
Yeah,
stay here for 4 days a week?
yeah, pretty much.
There is a lot of
Why?
trips. There's a lot of trips going on.
Well,
Nah,
why?
to be fair, Sophie
guys are well
hasn't had a
travelled.
Sophie hasn't had a holiday this year, so she went to England to see family and that for a week.
You
My
went to
mother was
Edinburgh with
over-
her.
That was like last year.
That was definitely
Wow.
this year. That was definitely this year.
That was end of October last year.
Good God.
And then my mother went to England last weekend to see two of her mates. And then she's going again in a couple of weeks' time to see two of her mates from America who are going to be in England at the time, London.
This is the 26th and the 27th we're talking about now. 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'll have to double check it, but either way, I won't be around. So
What's the plan for the day? We're going to go and do some lifting.
Yeah, man. Go ham.
Get the day pass in your thing, go wham.
No day pass. You just fucking pay in.
Yeah, is that what you're doing at the minute? You're just paying in?
you're wasting so much money. you
Yeah, it's a
fucking
lot of money,
imbecile.
dude.
It's
Just get yourself
just,
a membership. Just get yourself a
The,
membership.
the
I know.
upfront cost is awful, but then you have to use it, right?
Yeah, I suppose. But like, I haven't decided yet, so you know.
Like what? If you went 3 times so far, that was 21 quid. How much is 3 months?
60 a month. 60 a month.
60 a month. So
So if you go
that makes a
three
lot of
times-
sense.
If you go 3 times a week for each of the 4 weeks in a month, you're spending €84. Or you can go pretty much every day of the month for €60.
You should
As a
buy.
Cavan man, I thought you'd have more Yoshini sense
told
when it
ya,
comes to things like this.
I'm
But
not
then
a cheap
again,
Cavan man,
it
mate.
would mean you have to spend money again either way. So why the fuck would you? You're fucking tighter than a camel's arsehole in a sandstorm. You cunt.
You
I
should
spent a lot
should
of
consider
money.
getting the 3 months and then seeing what progress you make, and then see if you want to keep going there.
probably do that. Yeah, to be honest with you.
3 months, massive difference. That video I sent in the other day,
The worst thing
compared to how
you
fat I
can
was.
do- The worst thing you can do is pay as you go, because you won't be inclined to actually push yourself to go in and do it. If you just buy yourself the membership, you don't have to do it. And once you get into the routine of having to do it, then it'll become second nature to you.
I mean, that's what I'm gonna do. Fuck it.
How long have you been saying that's what you're gonna do for now? What, 2 or 3 weeks? Since we're back
No.
from Spain?
No. I didn't say
Yes.
that. I did say that 3 weeks ago. What are you on about?
Actually, here's something. When I did that poll on my story of how many people, or what people do in the gym, right? The amount of people who said they go in, they do do all the muscle groups in one go. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It was like push, pull, leg day. Leg day was second place, but second place. But first place was everyone wants to just do every muscle in one go. I get some of that was a joke, but it won by such a high fucking margin that not everyone was joking.
I think I voted on that poll, but I think can't remember if you actually put on like what
you definitely said leg day. I checked yours.
Oh yeah, that was it, yeah.
Crow, you said that you can do every muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
joke.
because did you when you put that up, did you actually say like did you say it as like what would you do on an average day in the gym, or did you just say what do you do in the gym?
What's your favorite day in the gym? Push, pull, leg day, every muscle group in one go.
But what's the story with you though?
Push day made no sense. No one wants to do chest and triceps, which is my personal favorite. Well, the shoulders as well, but everyone wants to do back and biceps.
Yeah.
What's the story with you?
A bicep pump is pretty sick though.
Yeah.
Are you joining back up?
Man, in case you haven't noticed, I've had loads of fucking shit going on at the moment between trying to decide if I want to quit my job or stay in my job, and then had me fucking insurance to pay for, and then fucking working pretty much 6-7 days a week.
You're getting shit tons of money. Tons of money, boy.
And I'm also getting fucking shit tons of hours. I've only had 2 days off in the last 2 weeks, and I'm still gonna fucking have to work 6 days, probably 7 days next week.
That's good.
But look, you got a pay rise recently, so you'll probably get it soon. But if you get one, if you get one this month in August, it's €29 per month at the minute for new members.
I am
You'll be able to fucking go on.
I'll probably will go in next Thursday when I get paid because I'll have bank holiday pay and a couple of Saturday hours.
You said that last week.
Because it would be €90 if you went and got the 3 months now. It was 120 something when I got mine. So
that's not too bad.
You said that last week. You're like, oh, I'll go in next week.
Yeah, and then last week. Yeah, and then last week I fucking had to decide whether I wanted to fucking quit my job or not. So
you're like, extra money just to sit around and watch Netflix.
Fucking sure.
Send them in, huh?
Do a bit of fucking training for a couple of months. Do a bit of training for a couple of months. 15.80 an hour once it's done. Fucking.
Send this guy in.
Cross training for downstairs and team leader and shit.
Big Willie as team leader.
Yeah.
If I applied to that place, would I be working with you as the guy in charge of me?
Probably not now, because if I get trained as team leader, it'll only be if and when Lorcan's on holidays, and if I'm on morning shifts them same weeks. Like Lorcan's off next week, so I'll effectively be a stand-in team leader, but I won't be getting paid team leader rate because I'm not actually technically trained as a team leader, even though I know how to do like 90% of the stuff.
I don't know if it would encourage me or discourage me. Because I'm like, oh, it's Will's in charge. Okay, so I know it's going to be done pretty well. We'll joke around, but it'll be done. But also,
I'm standing up.
Is he going to like shit on me?
No, like whenever I've been training the lads in, I'm like, right, this is everything you're gonna need to know for when you're working up here. Go through like all the different areas, stuff where everything is, blah blah blah. First week I usually kind of do everything myself, kind of get them to just kind of shadow me and follow me around, like, and kind of see how it's done or what way I do things. Second week of training, then I get them to do it, and I'll kind of give them help if they're not sure. Third week, then I kind of just leave them to their own devices and kind of hope that they're okay doing it on their own. But again, obviously, I'll kind of like follow them around and kind of shadow them as well, just in case. Like, so like everyone I've trained in, I've had them trained in 3 weeks.
That's like when we were over Spain. You said you had that fella who filled in for you, like that fat cunt is going to do nothing.
And I said, to be fair, I said that about everyone. I said that about fucking Peter as well, man. I come into work on fucking Wednesday evening, right? 2 of the lads are in there all day Wednesday morning. 1 fucking pallet of labels come in. Usually we get 6 or 7. Do you think that motherfucker was put away? No. 2 of the fuckers in there, and they couldn't put away 1 pallet of labels. 6 boxes on it.
And not a tap done. Not a tap done
Man,
that day.
I've pretty much rearranged like half the warehouse this week on my own.
Look at this fella. He's doing a bit of work. Fucking
Oh,
unit.
yeah. Because
I can't wait to join the workforce.
I was finally given the green light to fucking change around things up here, so I was like, fuck yeah, send me in. Mertman now.
Come here and we know.
Mertman, no.
There you go, Jared. Get him. Sure, start working with him. He'll get you in there, lad. He'll get you in there.
It's ranked in order. Clerical office. Intel.
Clerical office list
Brady's.
stops.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, it's still on the list though.
I don't know. Like I said, if you do change your mind, we're still looking for at least 1 or 2 more people. So
You know, like last week, I'm pretty sure I was like, no fucking way, and now I'm like, yes.
maybe, yeah, maybe.
I would go in tomorrow.
No.
Gone from a flat no to a hard maybe.
Yeah, no, I'm getting sick of it, man. I want to just get shit done.
Yeah.
And applying for stuff all the time. I just realize, like, it ain't happen.
Oh,
You want that car. You want that car. You want that license.
I want to barrel on the road. I want to hit children. I want to knock them down. I want to see the elderly as obstacles. They shouldn't give me a license. That's why I got to get one.
Oh.
And after I get the car license, get a gun license, and then just from there on.
Fucking
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
Yeah.
Nah.
You have to say that. Don't worry. We know you're being.
Isn't it like a massive pain in the ass to get a gun here?
Yeah.
Depending if it's a hunting rifle, I think it's pretty easy. But
Like,
for the purposes of hunting, it's easy enough. But you know, just
be a landowner, member of a shooting club.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's it.
No, not a shooting club. I mean, but there is a shooting club up beside me, like in walking distance. But we're not a part of it. Yeah.
Then how did you guys get one?
I don't know how they got one. He's had it for years, so the law must have been a bit different back then.
Oh yeah, if you got it before, it would have changed something.
Yeah.
Remember, actually, one of Donna's sister's boyfriend, cousin's dog. No, he got an old shotgun when his grandfather passed away, and he got confiscated.
Great job.
And like, it was like shit. Like it was already like bored out and stuff. And I don't understand why they took it anyway. I mean, like, you probably could have restored it, but like, just going to be a decoration at that point. Like, and it was just so old, like a single barrel shotgun. Like,
yeah, man.
Oh no!
I don't know why.
This farmer who has a shotgun is going to cause a lot of trouble for the guards. With his 1890 fucking.
Man, I don't see why they fucking decommission all weapons.
Yeah, they don't decommission them; they just get nerfed. There you go.
Man, I don't
because people like you would shoot up schools like anybody with a gun in America. That's why.
That's not fair. You can't say that. That's not very fair.
That is very.
Yeah,
fair.
We live right beside the UK, and they stab people just for breakfast.
Man,
yeah, exactly.
What?
An American kid shooting up a school or someone getting stabbed on a London bridge is about as stereotypical as leprechauns is to Ireland.
Yeah,
that's somewhat true.
And it is bad. That has to be admittedly true in today's society.
Yeah.
Seen someone make the argument that
don't they do like mock drills of how to react if a school shooting happens in America now?
Play dead.
Yeah.
Like most schools like do like fire safety drills. American schools do fucking battleground fucking how not to get shot to shit drills. Like, you
know what the worst thing is as well? Like there is a solution, and some people do it, or I think some states do it.
Yeah.
I remember it was like people were talking about it for a long time. Just give the teachers a gun.
No,
I fully believe that, dude.
Yeah, but
like you look like a Texas and so on.
What are gonna do? Some Donnie's
no, but for real.
Shoot.
If a guy comes in with like some kind of a rifle, right, and if the teachers are armed in any capacity and know how to use it, it's not a problem. Guy gets downed.
You know what the problem
having
is
security
with that,
too.
Though? You know what the problem is with that though? You're effectively turning a school into a fucking prison. Because if you can't, like, if you get to a stage where you're going into school and your teachers are basically going around like security guards with fucking guns in their back pocket or on a holster, and you've got security guards
Would they
at the
be in like a
doors and
safety
everything.
box or something? Maybe put one in the principal's office, something like that.
Yeah, but like even if you're going up to school and you've got security guards at every fucking door, like at that stage.
But they
it's not
already
even a
have that.
school.
There's metal detectors in some schools.
Yeah, well, that's different. Like I
Got
can
the-
understand that, but like
Got the
if
big
it gets
iron
to
on
the
hip.
stage where you've got like metal detectors and security and all the rest, teachers going on with fucking guns, you may as well just be going to fucking school and in prison, man.
Like, man, bringing a spoon from home and it just goes off in the metal detector. Like, get rid of him, kill him. I heard a story, and it's about an Australian kid, right? And this is back in the 90s, or maybe even late 80s. And in Australia, it's normal at the time, it was normal to have a pocket knife for chopping your apple and so on. And he brought his pocket knife into an American school when he moved to the States and thought it was completely normal. And they arrested him, they fucking, all this kind of shit. No one told him why he was under arrest until he got into the jail and his parents arrived. No one told him why. So he literally did not understand. Why can't I have my apple knife in here?
Yeah, that'll do it.
But this is like back in the day where like probably wouldn't have really known.
Chop up some
Yeah.
apples. Get there! Get the fuck!
Yeah.
Man, fuck it out.
And now, like with our old school, me and Will's old school, like you have to put your phone in a box when you go into a classroom now. You can't have it at break.
That's so fucking ass, man. You can't have it at break.
No.
Man, you know, I'd be walking around with that thing fucking sellotaped to me fucking dong.
That new
man.
principal is a complete
If you want
killer.
to come fucking grab it off me, man. I ain't fucking putting that fucker in a box. Get out.
For real,
I
how
was-
about you take it from me?
Yeah, fucking sellotape
Like
that bad
really,
boy.
really, like just
Come
look him
on.
in the eye. How about you take it from me?
Fucking,
Like,
I would
come on.
fucking gorilla glue that motherfucker to my fucking dong. Come grab it now.
If they
I
pull
mean-
it anyway. Oh.
I mean, you know what the
Like-
leaving cert when you had to put your phone in a box before you went in the classroom?
Yeah, but that's fair, because that's
I never did a living
exam,
cert.
I didn't do that. I put mine in the pencil case and I brought it. I just brought in the pencil case with me, with my phone in it.
Of course you did. Like, I can understand that, though, because, like, it's an exam, like, if there is a chance or a moment where you can cheat or whatever, that's fair enough, like, you're gonna, like... But for the sake of just regular fucking class, like... Like, I've never understood that. I was like, what if something fucking, like, happens, like, at home, like, something happened and, like, your parents need to get in touch with you, like, they're not gonna want to fucking go around telling, like, the fucking secretary or the fucking principal and everyone in the fucking school
Yeah.
what's happening. We're
And
just gonna want to just get you out of there, like, be ready in 10 minutes, like, we're coming to get you, like...
You could be 18 and 19 in the schools in 6th year, 5th year, whatever,
Yeah.
and they can. And you're an adult at 17, by the way.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like you can park up your car. Remember when I was in there? There's one guy, I think his name was Jack, and he had his car, and he was like talking to like principal, like, is it okay if I like park it up beside the staff parking, whatever? Because I wasn't able to park it down there, whatever. Like, no, strictly for staff. But like, I gotta put it somewhere. He just kept putting it in there anyway, and they stopped saying it to him. But
Like, what are they gonna do? Fucking get it towed? Like,
old enough to drive, but if you walk out, they're gonna like freak the fuck out. Like, you could be 18 in 5th year, you can go across the road to get your lunch at the shop, and they were like, it's a big legal issue, it's a big insurance issue. You don't understand how serious this is. Right, what across the street?
Fuck off. I'm 18. Fuck off. Suck my dong. You're not
Yeah.
fucking. You no longer own the fucking.
And there's nothing like that when you get older.
Yeah, like when you think about it, schools are so top. Like you used to have to ask to go for a shit.
And they were supposed to say no every time.
Yeah.
Like the insurance companies would tell the schools, nope, they can only go at break, not allowed going between classes. And then you have 3 hours of classes,
Yeah.
and you're sitting there like
what if you have a fucking fat
know a lad
fuck
who did
off
that,
bottle
yeah.
of water at break, and then you have to go for a fucking Waz, and you've got like a double class or something. Like, oh yeah, no, you can't go.
here's
Like,
one.
all right, just let me fucking whip me dong out and piss in the bin then.
I think I've said this before. A guy pissed himself in my mocks because one of the
stop.
teachers said that he couldn't go out to the bathroom, and then he's pissed all over his seat. He couldn't hold it in,
Oh,
and he looked
boy.
like he was ready to cry the whole time and everything. But they were like, no, it's really a really important exam. You can't go anywhere. No,
I would have got up and went anyway. Fuck that.
Should've-
I wouldn't-
yeah.
I would've
I
pissed
would've
myself.
plenty of people do.
I know
And
that did that as well.
it's
Yeah.
terrible.
Fuck that.
'Cause you're in there for like what, 2 hours, 2.5 hours normally.
Yeah.
3 hours at most, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. School has this weird power over you that you never experience again.
Schools are so top because you'd be like, oh, can I go to the toilet? And some teachers are like, oh, I don't know, can you? Like, oh, may I go to the toilet? And then it's still fucking say no. Like, what the fuck was the whole point of that exchange?
Is this one guy in my maths class before? He asked for a tissue. He's like, hey, can I get a tissue? And she was like, what? I said, tissue. What? Tissue. And then, like, after a while, she was like, yeah, go up and fucking get it. But she was acting as if she didn't understand him the first time and really fucking with him.
Like, man.
Trying to fuck with you, man.
Teachers, man, they got all this kind of weird power over you. It's so weird.
Teachers
they just fuck with you for fun, man. They fuck with you for fun.
I went to Irish school. I did high level Irish.
It's fucking peak because the teachers would fucking mess about like, no, you can't go for a shit. Fucking sit down and do your work. But when you fucking put a little tiny bit of fucking toilet paper over their car, they get all fucking ratty. Fuck off.
Fuck them.
Like, they fucking spend 6 years of their life fucking pranking you and not letting you go for a shit and not letting you do this and that. And you fucking put a little bit of fucking toilet roll over their fucking windshield. Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. That's blah blah blah. Fuck off, you cunt.
Now don't say it to my girlfriend who's training to become a teacher. But those who can do, and those who can't teach.
And even then, they still can't do that.
That always confused me, like why my business teachers were like teachers. Like,
I don't know how to fucking.
You couldn't work in any kind of like actual business thing.
Yeah,
fucking hated business so much. Business study was such a tap subject.
It was my best.
You never did it.
I did business. I do marketing. I did marketing. Like,
no, we didn't have to do it. We didn't have to do it. It was an optional subject.
Oh,
that's stupid.
The whole way through school. Optional subject the whole way through school.
Yeah, you have a tap school. Get out.
What subjects you picked?
We just weren't forced to do fucking shit we didn't want to do.
No, like your standard subjects when you came in first year, English, Irish, maths, business.
No, see, that's where ours differs. So in first to third year, our standard subjects are English, Irish, maths, science, French, geography.
Science, yes.
And they were the only. What was that? That was it, wasn't it?
I think that's pretty much it. The
exam
SPHE,
anyway.
CSP.
And then you had like SPHE, CSP, religion, PE were like your other kind of non-exam subjects, and then you had to pick 4 optional subjects. So they would have consisted of like your woodwork, metalwork, tech craft, art.
Yeah, I did woodwork and metalwork. Literally
business,
the easiest ones.
I did that too.
And then a couple of others as well.
And business.
Man, I didn't know. For us, it was only 2 optional ones.
History.
Like,
for us, it was 4 for junior cycle and 3 for senior cycle.
Yeah,
but
you had to pick 2 out of a load, like.
Yeah, but like the thing was like obviously because we had the likes of geography, science, French as like mandatory subjects at leaving our junior cycle, they all became like optional subjects at senior cycle.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
then obviously science was split into like the 3 biology, chemistry, physics, or whatever as well. So
yeah.
And people never picked French. People didn't give a fuck about doing French in Leaving Cert.
There was
French was fucking. It's hard enough.
2 French classes in my cycle for Leaving Cert.
And what's your best French sentence?
And like a few like the basic ones.
Give me a sentence. Just give me a sentence.
I don't know. Je ne veux pas parler français.
You also number one you fucked that up. Number 2.
Yeah, well, same difference. Oh wait, no. Puis-je aller à toilette s'il vous plaît? Yeah.
There we go. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I go to the toilet.
I never did a language school, thank God, except for the Irish. That's it.
You wouldn't have needed it for college anyway. Engineering, I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah, that's why.
You don't need. Yeah, but you wouldn't need it anyway. You don't need a third language to be a tight arse fucker with money anyway.
You needed it for marketing, and then we never did anything that was. It wasn't even an option to do other languages.
Yeah.
Got lots of money, but don't spend it.
Yeah, we fucking.
Got no money, but spend it all. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. School was good back in the day, but think now.
The modern stuff is pretty dog shit.
Yeah.
I feel like we got it just in time.
Yeah, literally. I mean, my brother used to go to the same school as me, and they used to sell sweets from the locker, cheaper than any canteen.
Remember you were saying that, yeah.
Like
that was always hilarious to me. I remember when I was younger, I'd look at those videos like, okay, so how can I do that? Oh my god! Then I realized this is Ireland, and no one will want to buy fucking sweets off me.
and
So
honestly,
I
no,
never bothered.
That student
No
made a
one will.
fortune. No mess, he made a fucking fortune from selling sweets from his locker. He
You
made
said
a
this
fucking
before.
fortune.
He came from money anyway.
No, he bought like a load of like, you know, what do you call them? Penny sweets and a load of cans of Coke and Fanta. Small
Yeah,
ones.
but didn't you say before his
Multi-packs,
parents
no.
were like fairly well off? He didn't need to do it. But he just did it
He
anyway.
just did it. He just he was just like a regular person from a regular family. He said, "Fuck, you know what? I'm gonna buy a load of multi-packs of shit, bring them in, and sell them for half the price, like for 80 cents and stuff like this." Fucking made a fortune. Made a load of money.
Bitch, yeah. Like
Well, you should do that as like a side hustle in your place. It's like
there's not a
there's like
chance of that
5
happening.
Watsons in a bag, and he's like,
There is,
huh?
man,
Huh?
there is not a fear of that happening.
He'd be like, "Well, Willem just hoovers up food like I've never seen before. It's kind of mad."
I actually
I'm not even that bad.
I have not
Man.
seen this side of Willem, to be honest. I've seen it with pints. I've seen it with pints and Weatherspoons. I have not seen it in.
Exactly.
No,
Because
here,
Wetherspoons, we had the same stuff pretty much. We just had 2 pizzas and fucking.
I remember you ordered was it like a large patchy margarita and a side of garlic bread. Right, I started with the garlic bread. I towards the end of it, I was struggling. I was like, "Fuck, that's a lot of garlic bread." Him, pizza was already fucking half gone. I'm like,
Sucking it.
"Lad."
Yeah. But you know what?
When you're hungry, you'll eat.
This is a takeaway from today's episode. For the average person, 5'9", 200 pounds. If you eat a bunch of shit, up to 7,000 calories. After that, you can eat whatever the fuck you want. Your body can't absorb it anyway. So go ahead, eat 8,000 calories worth of Watsits.
Oh my God,
Oh my God, I was thinking of coming in. Just fucking sit on the john and have it fucking brought into you.
Now, one thing Nick did say to me about something before, when we first interviewed him, myself and Thomas, he said that after Nathan's competition, when he's eating hot dogs and buns, part of it came out completely undigested. You could tell it was hot dog. You could tell it was squished bread.
Shite coming out of your eyes,
literally, like it did not break down. It starts off like a log, you know, doo-doo, whatever.
Like a fully formed hot dog.
And then it's like
coming out like a stick of pepperami.
Man, like
a fully formed hot dog.
Just come out
pepperami stick slipping out of you.
Yeah, but that's so hard. Imagine like you eat like a fucking pizza and a bit of fucking crust is just coming out as if you just.
Man, I'd fucking rip you in
throw
two.
it in
No,
it.
things
Yeah. That sounds horrifying.
Chew it. They don't chew it, man. They just go.
Yeah, because what they do is they let you fucking suck them bad boys in like a fucking hoover and then get the bun and just fucking gnash it up, drown it in water.
Yeah, that's what they do. Because it's not like they're eating it normally. Like they're whipping out the hot dog and then they're like, doing what Will said, squishing out the.
Yeah, fucking.
And with all respect to Nick or whatever, it's not a sport. Like it is a cool activity. It is broadcasted.
It's gluttony.
It does not feel like a sport. It is interesting.
Hey.
But I wouldn't watch it like I'd watch the UFC or golf or football or.
It's interesting to like hear about it and talk about it, but I wouldn't watch it. But then again, I'm not like a fucking 600-pound American with a fucking beer hat on my head and a bag of Cheetos beside me.
I have seen a bit of it though. I have like this guy. What is his name? Badlands Chugs. He chugs like he'll drink a gallon. He'll drink like fucking 2-3 gallons of like Diet Coke or something. He'll massive fuck off burp, but he's huge.
Yeah.
You ever watch Man v Food back in the
day?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching him. He went into one and he tried to beat the record of drinking milkshakes, and he was very chugging through them. And
man, your fucking brain freeze should get off that though, man.
Imagine getting sick.
That's what happened. His body couldn't take it. He drank too many milkshakes. All came back up in the middle of the contest. He was like doing so well, and the next thing you know, the worst happened.
Oh, yeah.
If there was a rule in those competitions that you could keep going if you got sick, and some people would, and it would be so fucking disgusting. I think people would develop a strategy where they puke halfway through and keep going.
Yeah.
Like a camel.
It's like when you go for a night out and you drink too much too quickly at the start and you have to fucking reset your fucking insides.
Yep, done that.
Well, make yourself get sick.
Yeah, your tactical
yeah.
reset.
I've never
Yeah.
gotten sick from anything.
I mean,
That's it.
Just go.
this fella does it all the time. This fella there does it all the time.
I've done tactical resets mid fucking night out, like, and all.
Hard reset like a PlayStation, man. This
The,
fella.
the last time I drank was with you
Factory
two,
reset.
and before that it was a long time as well. Like I barely fucking drink.
Mm.
Oh man. I mean, like when you drink, you get all tired. Like like an hour in.
I snooze,
Jared.
man.
Jared's just here like, and I was like, Jared, you alright, man?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're fairly the opposite. You get anything gets into you, you get pretty fucking hyper.
Yeah, that.
Crow. You're a little sweet spot there. Well, you're nice in the middle.
You're a noisy bastard when you fucking drink, Crow.
Yeah, I know. I fucking slurp it down.
So someone has to be. Someone has to be.
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
fucking loud anyway. He doesn't need to be fucking brought up any more volume.
Come here for a slap.
It's like listening to the world's worst white noise machine.
White noise machine.
It's like soothing whale sounds and shit. It's just the world's most irritating laugh. Fucking hyper fucking pitched.
Says the boy who can't drink shots. Can't do it.
You can't drink
That is
Guinness,
something
you
very
can't
true.
use-
Yeah, yeah,
Will
you
Shot's
can't drink
abilities
Guinness.
can be questioned,
yeah.
but in
You're too
fairness,
little-
if you're talking
well,
about
When you're asking me to do like fucking 20 shots fucking back to back to back, of course I'm not gonna be able to fucking handle it.
two little Mickey Mouse apple sours, had them on the toilet for the night.
Yeah, that was because that was like the first time I ever fucking did shots. That's why.
welcome back.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
Man, that
Skillish.
was.
Get out.
And on that note, I'm finished for the night. Fuck off.
Yeah, we'll
worry, man.
finish up there anyway. An hour and
Yeah.
41 minutes there. We got Nick on for like
You got there fucking
40 of that. It was great crack.
Did we put up last weekend's episode yet?
Yes. See, when you guys went off, we didn't have a spare episode. This one comes out tomorrow now.
Okay.
Well, no,
Yeah.
the one we put up last weekend. Which one was that one?
That was our
That was what we
fresh
talked
one
about
back.
Yeah, that's when we talked about Spain.
You heading off?
I want dindins.
See that?
Hear me?
No. I thought you were coming back. Oh, you came back. Good
I've got work.
luck.
Afternoon.
Have we not
shift.
got another episode to put up now?
No.
Because the last one was the Spain one.
I'll check when we're finished. But I just
I'm pretty sure.
finish this up.
Pretty sure the last one we recorded was like an hour and 40 as well. Now, because we were saying it was like our longest episode that we'd done.
Well, ladies, this is either a week old or not. So anyway, bye bye. See you.
Bye.
See you.